beauty, the good qualities. Concluding that she would be an ideal wife for him, he also made up his mind to marry her. Purport. Just as Lord Krishna was described as Sadrisham Patim, an ideal husband for Rukmini, being just like her, Rukmini is described as Sadrishim Bharyam, an ideal wife for Shri Krishna, being just like him. That is natural, since Srimati Rukmini is Lord Krishna's internal potency. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratise Namaha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Brinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam Pangum Langhayate Girim Yat Kripa Tamaham Bande Shri Guru Dinatarinam Shri Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Shri. Hare Krishna. So we are about to begin the most exciting episode of Srimad Bhagavatam. Lord Krishna has just now settled off his house. We have heard in Srimad Bhagavatam, as soon as a house is made, generally bachelors, they don't require, they stay in mess. And it is really messy. We have seen bachelor quarters and all. It's actually called mess because it remains messy. But before one wants to get married, the first thing one wants is a very good flat. Lord Krishna has, according to him, he is Purna Purushottam. He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And he didn't create a flat. He created an entire city floating in middle of the ocean. He didn't have to go to a like island or something. He created an island within an ocean of almost about 100 square kilometers area, or even more than that. A floating island. That was his home before planning for a marriage. Hare Krishna. And we all want to compete with Krishna. So the first pastime Krishna, after setting up Dwaraka, is enacting is Patni Bina Griha Sunyam. That without having a wife, fitting wife, Sadrishim Bharyam, then the whole palace looks empty. So this has been Krishna's most cherished desire to get married. Our acharyas tell a story that when Krishna was very small, when Krishna was just 2-3 years old, and there were so many demons coming to Gokul. And there was a big meeting in Vrindavan. All the great personalities, all the 5 brothers, they all met and they discussed. And they thought that it's because of Gokul we are here, that's why so many demons are coming. We must think about going to a different place, and best place is Nandagaon because there is Nandeshwar Shiva, and because he is there, so I think it will be protected. So we should go all there. And all the Brajvasis from Gokul, they start packing up. They packed up in bullock carts. They started sitting in bullock carts and then started moving. And Krishna, who was very little boy, 3 years old, he was sitting with Yasoda Maharani and going. And you know how the kids are, small kids, they keep on asking questions, nagging, Maya ye kya hai, Maya wo kya hai, Maya wo kya hai, what is this, what is this, what is this, what is this, like that. So Krishna asked Yasoda Maharani, Maya, what is this? Yasoda Maharani said, it's a cow, Gaya. And Maya, what is this? This is a bull, sand. What is bull and what is cow? Maya said, bull is husband and cow is wife. Okay. And then the cart went little ahead. And then Maya, what is this? This is peacock, Mayur. And what is this? This is peahen, Mayuri. What is this? Which two are they? This is peacock is the husband, peahen is the wife. And then going ahead, what is this? This is deer, Hiran. This is doe, Hirani. What are they? They're husband and wife. And as soon as after 3 times Krishna heard their husband and wife, Krishna said, stop the cart. Everyone is going with husband and wife. Why I don't have wife? I need wife right now. Then only I will go to Nandagaon. Yasoda Maharani said, in 3-year-old boy asking for a wife, where do I find? And Yasoda said, okay. That's what we are going to Chhattigara. We are going to get you a wife. And Yasoda Maharani thought that the distance to Chhattigara is 3, 4, 5 hours. Generally kids forget. By the time we reach Chhattigara, Kahana will forget about wife. Then they reached Chhattigara, they started unloading and everything and started sitting in circles, taking for prasadam. And Krishna said, no prasadam. Everyone is taking prasadam with his wife. I want wife. Where is my wife? Yasoda Maharani said, my goodness, where do I get wife for my Kana? It's such a small boy. And then finally Yasoda Maharani and Krishna started crying. Started making tantrums. I need right now a wife. You have to give me a wife. And this Yasoda Maharani takes Krishna to a big group of ladies all around sitting. Choose your wife. And Krishna goes and inspects all the ladies, and finally one most old lady with no teeth, Krishna sits on her lap and says, Yehi meri dulhan hai. This is my wife. And then Yasoda Maharani says, hi, what can be done? What son I have given birth? But in Vrindavan, though Krishna has intense desire also to get married, it's a very, very wonderful, pleasurable, memorable situation happening in everyone's life. But Yogamaya Devi never allows Krishna to get married. There are rumors of marriage. There are planning of marriage. There are plans of marriage. There are rumors of marriage. But there is no marriage. Just to ensure that the primary rasa of Vrindavan Dham, Parakya Bhav, is maintained. So Krishna fulfills his desire to get married as soon as he sets up the Dwaraka city. And Sukadeva Goswami, he begins the pastime telling Bhagavan api Govinda. If you read this text in the verses, the first verse that Sukadeva Goswami says is about how Balramji got married. You all know the story how Balramji got married with Mother Revati. And Sukadeva Goswami after that mentions that Bhagavan api Govinda. And our Acharya says why Sukadeva Goswami uses the word api, although. Though Balaram got married, Krishna also got married, but though is there, api is there. And our Acharyas explain why that word although is there, because Balaramji married with peace and tranquility, and Krishna married always with animosity and stunts. There had been no marriage which Krishna did. Of all 16,108 marriages, all marriages had fights. Practically stunts. Rukmini, fight. Satyabhama, what to speak of fight? The Sasur, the father-in-law is also killed, murdered. That is the melodrama during the marriage. The father-in-law is murdered during the marriage of someone. Jambavati, fight. Satya, fight. Lakshmana, fight. Only Kalindi, because Arjuna was involved, who went to propose to Kalindi on behalf of Krishna. That's why that was very, very peaceful, because Kalindi had none. She was just sitting and doing tapasya. And that was the only marriage Krishna did out of 16,108 wives, that there was no fight. So Bhagavan api Govinda, that Balramji never fought. It was such a peaceful marriage where the father-in-law comes and says, take my daughter. Krishna did all marriages with real fun and pleasure. And not just that, Krishna did this marriage with Rukmini with so much of fun. He experienced such pleasure that he told Arjuna, experience this fun. I experienced this many years before. He made his friend also to get married in the same way as he got married. That is why Bhagavan api Govinda, Sukadeva Goswami mentions that although. And also because Balaramji married one, but Krishna married so many, till now there is a record-breaking performance. Krishna cannot be compared with anyone. Asama Aurdha. Maximum, I heard someone is 65 queens or wives he has, or 66, like that. That's the maximum. Krishna married 16,108 wives, and none of them were feeling betrayed. None of them were feeling, oh no, Krishna is not giving me time. None of them were feeling that I do not have a place to stay. None of them were insecure. That's why Bhagavan api Govinda. And then Sukadeva Goswami in just one verse speaks about the entire Rukmini Leela, Rukmini Haran Leela. And one verse only. And Parikshit Maharaj says, Shri Rajo Vacha, Bhagavan Bhismaka Sutam Rukmini Ruchiranana Raksasena Vidhanena Upayami iti Shrutam. Oh Bhagavan, because Sukadeva Goswami can give Bhagavan, that's why he is also addressed as Bhagavan, Bhismaka Sutam, I have heard. Because he is from Hastinapur and it was such a grand marriage, and the marriage was Sisupal weds Rukmini. That's what all the visiting cards, marriage cards came to even Hastinapur. Hastinapur received the marriage cards, RSVP. That Sisupal weds Rukmini. So Parikshit was telling, I have heard that marriage cards have been printed, And the initial ceremony of haldi and all those things also happened. And all our family members also went. But Hare Krishna, Raksasena Vidhanena, Krishna kidnapped. I have in my lifetime, I have seen only one, I have experienced one Raksas Vivah, which I will tell you. So one of my uncle's wife, matlab aunties, brother's marriage was there. So it got happened, and I never went to marriage even before coming to ISKCON. So I didn't go to the marriage. And after 6 months, my mother calls me and says, I said, what? I went to their house. I said, okay. So, but I went to the house and I was searching for the daughter-in-law. Where is the daughter-in-law? Where is the daughter-in-law? And she was not there. And no one was telling me, where is the daughter-in-law? I said, I brought some sarees and some gifts for the daughter-in-law. And she was not there only. And no one was telling anything about the daughter-in-law. I said, okay, she would have gone somewhere. Some problem would have happened. No. You always think simple. Then my mother said, after coming back, I found out, explored what had happened. I said, what had happened? Now, the marriage happened. You know how in Odisha we have, here also a system is that the boy goes to the girl's house for marriage. So the boy went, there was a marriage, and there was a lot of dowry, and they brought back and to their house. In their house, there was a reception. In boy's house, there was reception. And reception, so many gifts came, so many ornaments, so many things came. And it was late night, at 2 o'clock in the night, everyone had slept. And morning, when they get up at 8 o'clock, they were finding out, where is the Bahurani? Where is the Bahurani? They saw that Bahurani is missing. And they saw that the golden ornaments that they received, they are missing. And they saw that all the gifts that were brought in the dowry, they were also missing. And what had happened was, late in the night at 4 o'clock, the ex-lover came, packed up all the dowry items, everything packed up in a truck, and took the lover and went away. Raksasena Vidhanena. Hare Krishna. This person got so much affected, the person who got married, that he said, I will never get married throughout my life. So we can imagine what would be the condition of Sisupal. Krishna had never seen the face of Rukmini. There was it's not that Rukmini sent a love letter along with that photograph. Photo देखेंगे तो आएंगे, नहीं तो नहीं आएंगे. Krishna saw, in the ahead verses it will be shown, it will be told by Sukadeva Goswami, just by the letter which was so beautiful, Krishna understood, if the letter is so beautiful, how beautiful will be the person and how beautiful will be the person's heart. Just on the basis of the letter, Krishna went to kidnap Rukmini. And because Krishna had not seen ever Rukmini, when Krishna kidnapped Rukmini, Krishna was just looking at the face of Rukmini. And all the arrows, if you see the picture, one picture is there in the internet which is perfectly made. According to what our acharyas they say. Krishna was just looking at the face of Rukmini because that was the first time Krishna was looking Rukmini. And all the arrows are just flying and flying and flying. And Krishna didn't want even an iota of time to be spent without looking at Rukmini. Krishna was sending arrows, looking at Rukmini, and all got defeated. And Sisupal, Tarasena, Sukadeva Goswami uses a word in the first verse, Tarasena. Lelia. That was the condition of Sisupal while he was talking with Jarasan. His mouth was open He was sitting on a horse with all the pagadi. And he was coming to get married, and sitting on the horse, Sisupal was just mouth open. He was thinking, really, they could not do anything. And Krishna was not even fighting with Sisupal. Krishna was not even fighting with the armies of Jarasandha. Krishna was constantly gazing at the eyes and the face of, that's what it is there, Rukmini Ruchiranana. Krishna had just heard and read in the letters, "Bahut sundar hai." So beautiful. Epitome of beauty. So Krishna was just gazing and gazing and gazing at the eyes and the face of Rukmini Devi, and he was fighting without even looking at the armies, and still all the armies got defeated. That is Krishna. Raksasena vidhanena upayema iti srutam. Parikshit Maharaj says, you just spoke in one verse. I want a detailed explanation of how this happened. How Krishna kidnapped Rukmini. I want a detailed storyline, not a one verse synopsis, abstract. I want a detailed analysis of how it happened. Upayema iti srutam. मैं सुनना चाहता हूं. I want to hear. Now one may wonder, Parikshit is in almost deathbed. Just 3 days are remaining, or maybe 2.5 days are remaining. And what Parikshit wants to hear? Even at the time of death, if someone wants to play a romantic song, say, "Arey, bhajan lagao." Bollywood chala raha hai. Yes? Even at the time of death, if someone plays duet songs, Gandharva, here it is said Raksasena. There are 3 types of vivaha. One is Deva Vivaha. Deva Vivaha is arranged marriage. Parents are arranging, or the demigods are arranging, or whatever it is. And second one is Gandharva Vivaha. Gandharva Vivaha means mutual love. I love you, you love me, it's so nice. This is Gandharva Vivaha. Rakshasena Vivahena means kidnap. Acha laga? Chalo. This is Rakshasena. So Parikshit Maharaj is not even asking to tell about romantic descriptions, Gandharva things. Parikshit Maharaj is asking, tell about Rakshash Vivaha of Krishna. And is this a thing to be heard at the time of death? Just imagine. At the time of death, someone is asking, कैसे शादी हुआ बताओ तो? मैंने सुना चोरी करके लेके आए वर को, थोड़ा सुनो ना. So Parikshit Maharaj is asking a question which can be questionable by so many people. That what, Parikshit? One verse it got over. Is it required to have a detailed analysis about it at the time of death to hear how Krishna kidnapped? Is this a subject matter to be heard? And that is why this is the verse Parikshit Maharaj is speaking to convince Sukadeva Goswami that this is the pastime to be heard for someone at the time of death also. Bhagavan Srotum Ichchami. Why I am wanting to hear? Srotum Ichchami. Why my desire is there? What is that? Brahman Krishna Katha Punya. O Brahmana, Krishna Katha is Punya. It is most purifying. Jai Shri Nitai 𝐂𝐻𝐌𝐌𝐔𝐍𝐈𝐓𝐘, Jai Shri Prabhupada ki Jai. Krishna Katha is purifying. When Krishna is dancing with the gopis, it is purifying. When Krishna is kidnapping Rukmini, is purifying. When Krishna is conspiring against the Kauravas, it is purifying. When Krishna is conspiring to make Arjuna get married with Subhadra, it is purifying. When Krishna is playing diplomatic role to kill Karna, to kill Bhisma, to kill Dronacharya, it is purifying. And that conviction that it is purifying will purify us. Until unless we have this conviction that Krishna's all pastimes are pure, we will never get affected by that purity. We'll always have questions. Why Krishna did like this? Why Krishna did like this? Why Krishna is doing like this? But Krishna Katha Punya, Krishna Katha is most purifying. All the pastimes of Krishna are Madhavi, Lokamalapaha. It is not just purifying, it is Lokamala Apaha. It purifies all the contaminations of the heart. And it is also sweet. We have never seen any substance in this world which is purifying and sweet. Generally, when we get diseases, more the severity of the disease is, the bitterness of the medicine increases, the pain of the treatment also increases. I have full experience of all medicines, all types of medicines. Medicines are so bitter, so bitter. And the treatment, bitterness of the treatment increases as the disease also increases. Cancer, such a terrible disease. And the treatment is so terrible. Chemotherapy, radiotherapy. One of our juniors devotee, he went through something called chemo and radio and all those things. Practically for 1 month before the treatment, they checked him whether every other organ is all right or not. And they found out that some part of his teeth has some black spot. They removed 3 teeth so that there is no cause of infection. 3 teeth only they removed. Before this is before the treatment of cancer. It was such a painful experience before the treatment to go through all the parts and organs, check up, and any part, any organ, anything is there, remove them to go through the treatment. But Madhvi Lokamalapaha, Krishna is so purifying, it purifies the heart, but it's so sweet nectarine. Madhvi Lokamalapaha. Konu tripyeta shunvanna. Who is the person who will get tripyeta, satiated of hearing about Krishna? We have been hearing again and again and again. In this world, one song comes. You hear it after 1 week, you feel bored. Previously, at least in the songs, there was some chanda, some meter, something. Yesterday they were playing, there was no chanda, nothing. It was simply a noise. I was thinking, getting up the bed and put my head and put it again and again for 2 days. They're troubling us so much. There is no chanda, there is no meter. Dung, 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 and the entire room is just vibrating. That is the song. And why so many channels are increasing? Previously, in my childhood, there was DD and DD Metro. 2 channels. And people are happy. Now there were so many channels. 200 plus channels and people are bored. Why? Because there is no content in the channel. So, material pleasure is completely filled with satiation. It has no pleasure only. Kona trupyeta shunvanna. Who will get satiated? Because again and again you hear. You read this pastime of Sri Rukmini Mangalam again and again. you will never feel satiated. And that's why Acharyas have explained this as Sri Rukmini Mangalam. That it creates Mangalam in our lives. Sri Rukmini, who is described in these verses as Sakshat Sri, who is sought after everyone. We find in this world, whether everyone loves Krishna or not, everyone loves Lakshmi. Everyone is after Lakshmi because everyone knows that if Lakshmi comes in my life, Mangalam will come in my life. And people are running after Lakshmi, and they only run after Lakshmi, and that's how you will see that Lakshmi, who is alone, has a Bahan of Ullu, owl. You see? Now Lakshmi Puja is going to come. 9th is the Lakshmi Puja. You will go to all the Lakshmi Pandals, you will see Lakshmi sitting like this with an owl. Telling that if you want me only, without my husband Narayan, I will make you owl. Ullu ka patta. This is the mentality of conditioned souls who are like Ravanas. Sri Rukmini Mangalam, Rukmini is Sakshat Sri. She is the eternal consort of Krishna. And our Acharyas explain why Lakshmi has to get married again to Krishna. He's already the wife. But Sri Rukmini Mangalam is a pastime to tell us, to give us the lesson that just see, the whole world is seeking Lakshmi for Mangalam in their lives. But Lakshmi, who is Sakshat Sri Rukmini, is writing letters that, oh Krishna, when you come to my life, there will be Mangalam in my life. That's what Acharyas have explained as an explanation of this pastime, Sri Rukmini Mangalam. Everyone is seeking for Lakshmi, for their Mangalam. But Lakshmi is seeking for Krishna, for her Mangalam. That means how much we who are Amangalam, our entire life, Lakshmi's life is Mangalam. Lakshmi creates Mangalam in others' life. But she is writing letters. She is desperately searching, seeking, considering that if I don't get you, Krishna, what is the use of my life? Let me just commit suicide. That's what is in the letter. Our life is filled with inauspiciousness. And Lakshmi's life is filled with auspiciousness, making others' life auspicious. But Lakshmi understood that all auspiciousness, the center of all auspiciousness is Krishna. And when I get married to Krishna, there will be real auspiciousness in my life. Lakshmi doesn't create auspiciousness. Lakshmi Narayan creates auspiciousness. Sita doesn't create auspiciousness. Sita Ram creates auspiciousness. Radha doesn't create auspiciousness. Radha Krishna creates auspiciousness. That is why in Vrindavan Dham, in Ayodhya Dham, in all the Dhams, the only primary sentiment and emotion of all the residents of spiritual world is how to unite Radha Krishna, Sita Ram, Lakshmi Narayan, Rukmini Mangalam. When we as conditioned souls, we hear the pastimes, we act to unite Radharani and Krishna, to unite Sita and Ram, Mangalam will come in our lives. But when we act as Ravan and separate Sita from Ram, separate Radha from Krishna, all amangalam will come in our life. And that is the lesson that our Acharyas give about Sri Rukmini Mangalam. That the goal of life is not to become Sangini of Krishna. Lord Chaitanya says, Gopi Bharatu Pada Kamala Yor Das 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 Dasanudas. Not to become Das of Krishna, not to become Sakhi of Krishna, just to become a servant of Krishna, and to ensure Krishna enjoys his company with Srimati Radharani. That will bring Mangalam to our lives, and that is why this pastime is called Sri Rukmini Mangalam. Kona trupeta shunvanaha. Who will get satiated? I have heard it. I have repeatedly heard it. Hastinapur, everyone spoke about it. I have the replica of the the marriage card that came, which had written Sisupal weds Rukmini. But still I want to hear it again. I have heard it from Yudhishthir. I have heard it from everyone. But I want to hear it again with lot of Vistar, with detailed analysis from you, O Sukadev, because Bhagavan, you can give me that experience of happiness by again telling it with detailed analysis with your realizations. And Rajasi Bhismako Nama Vidarbha Dipatir Mahan Tasya Pancha Bhavan Putra Kanyaikacha Varanana. Sukadeva Goswami starts the pastimes of Rukmini Mangalam telling Varanana. Rukmini Devi was not just having a beautiful face, she was having a beautiful heart. Rukmi agrajo rukmartho rukma bahur anantaraha rukma kesho rukma mali rukmini esa swasa sati. Rukmini was not just golden in color as her name suggests. Rukmini was golden in her heart. Esa swasa sati. It's very easy to decorate our externals, to pick up to give up a soul, that how am I great soul. Putana came with that purpose. Suparnekha came with that purpose. Externally faking that how I'm so beautiful. But Sukadeva Goswami is telling that Rukmini was not just externally beautiful, she was having so beautiful exalted qualities. Sopasrutya mukundasya. All people used to go to Kondaniyapur, Vidarbha, and see Rukmini and say, such a beautiful girl. And Bhisma could say, yes, she's beautiful, but I'm having a big problem. Whom I should get her married to? Because the match has to be there. Like Janak. Janak had a problem. Now one may wonder, why did Janak Maharaj keep such a, such a thing about Siva Dhanush, breaking the Siva vow and stringing it and all those things? Because this Siva Dhanu, it is explained in Ramayana that it used to take 300 soldiers to just slide it, not lift it. Along with elephants. Not alone, not the 300 soldiers going and just. Along with elephants, 300 soldiers used to go just to slide it so that the base of the Sibadhanu can be cleaned. And again they have to slide it back. That was Sibadhanu. And one time as Janaki was playing, she was a small girl, she was playing and playing and playing and playing, and the ball went below the table that contained Sibadhanu in the room. And all the girls, they started, oh, the ball is missing, the ball is missing, the ball is missing. And Janaki lifted the ball, lifted the table, took out the ball and gave it to the friends. Lo. And all the girls who knew how powerful is Sibadhanu went back and reported to Janak Maharaj. And Janak Maharaj was thinking, my goodness, this is my daughter. In the left hand, she is able to pick up Sibadhanu. That means the husband has to be more powerful to protect her. She has to break the Sibadhanu. Or at least string it. Then only he can get married. And that's how Janak Maharaj came up with this proposal that whoever strings this Lord Shiva's bow will get my daughter. Exactly in the same way, so many people used to come to the palace telling Bhismaka that, oh, Rukmini is so beautiful, Rukmini is so beautiful, so beautiful, so quality also so beautiful. And Bhismaka will say, I don't know with whom she will get married. And they will say, whom she will get married? What do you think? Is there any doubt? I don't have any doubt. Whom she should get married? Krishna only. Yes, Krishna only. But Bhismaka would keep it in his heart because he knew his eldest son Rukmi was very, very envious of Krishna, and the power was already transferred to Rukmi. Bhismaka was not the king. Rukmi was the king. Bhismaka was just appointed, but Rukmi had already taken charge of the entire kingdom. Bhismaka, though in his heart could understand, Sopasrutyasya Mukundasya, he heard about Mukunda as the best match for her daughter, for his daughter, Rupa, Virya, Guna, Sriya. Of Rupa, of Virya, of a Guna, of Sriya, from everyone Bhismaka heard, Rukmini also heard. Tam mene sadrishim patim. Though Bhismaka was fearful, but Rukmini was not fearful. Though Bhismaka was thinking how it will happen, my son is there, he was fearful of Rukmi. But Rukmini, this entire Rukmini Mangalam is enacted to tell to us, never become fearful of the circumstances to get married to Krishna. We are so fearful of the circumstances. What will happen if my father comes to know? What will happen if my mother comes to know? What will happen if my wife comes to know I'm chanting Hare Krishna? What will happen if the whole world comes to know? Whole world is like Rukmi, envious of Krishna. And we are fearful like Bhismaka to get ourselves married to Krishna. But this entire pastime is enacted to give us faith and hope, to make us fearless. Just imagine Rukmini. The marriage cards are printed. The celebrations have started. And she is the only one in the entire kingdom writing letter to get her kidnapped so that she can surrender to Krishna. If Rukmini has hope, then we also have hope. She didn't even knew. Just imagine how much our condition matches with Rukmini. She didn't even knew that if the letter reaches Krishna or the letter if it reaches Rukmi. Imagine the person who is carrying the letter, he does Viswasghat, he betrays and gives that letter to Rukmi only. Just imagine what will be the condition. And this is not the time where Tinder app is there and datings are happening and all these things. This was the time when if you write just a letter to someone, no one will marry you. If you are found writing a letter to someone else, no man will accept you as wife. That was the time, that was the culture during that time. So Rukmini taking up this fearless endeavor of surrender. So this Rukmini Mangalam is a hope to all of us. She doesn't even know that will Krishna accept me? He may just see the letter and ignore it because he has not seen me. Why he would accept me? Why he would come and fight? There are so much complications in kidnapping me. But still, Rukmini, hearing that how Krishna is merciful, if Krishna, Virya, Rupa, Guna, Rupa and Virya is fine. We are looking for Rupa and Virya. Every lady looks for Rupa and Virya in a man. But Guna Sriyaha, Krishna is beautiful because of his Guna. Rukmini thought, if Krishna would accept Kubja, if Krishna can accept Kubja in Mathura, will Krishna not accept me? Krishna would definitely accept me. And that's how Sukadeva Goswami says, Kamba dayalum saranam brajema. That how merciful is Krishna that he accepted Putana, he accepted Kubja. Putana came with the poison to kill, and Kubja came with the poison of lust to enjoy. Krishna accepted both of them, purified them. So that should give us the faith and hope, like Rukmini is feeling hopeful. Let me write Krishna love letter. And that's what we are chanting Hare Krishna every day, writing with a prayerful attitude, oh Krishna, accept me as your servant of the servant of the servant. We don't even know. We have taken an endeavor where we don't even know. Srila Prabhupada was asked by a reporter, Swamiji, you and your followers are living up everything and giving up all the things that is pleasurable in this world and telling that Krishna is there, spiritual world is there. What if Krishna is not there? Srila Prabhupada said, what if Krishna is not there? We are enjoying. But what if Krishna is there? What will happen to you? Then you will be proved that you are doing so many sinful activities. But whatever it is, the mystery still remains that we have never seen Krishna. We have only heard about Krishna from the Acharyas. We have only heard about Krishna's beauty. We have only heard about Krishna's compassion, just like Rukmini has heard. But Rukmini Mangalam is a pastime to give us hope that Krishna will definitely accept us. Let us fearlessly, even though the entire world is filled with Rukmi, trying to create troubles in the devotional service of people, let us fearlessly approach Krishna. Definitely Krishna will come at the time of death and kidnap us and reinstate us in spiritual world. That is the lesson that we can learn from Rukmini Mangalam. And that is what is the mood of this month of Kartik, which is going to start tomorrow. Krishna performs n number of pastimes all throughout the year. Krishna performs so many pastimes in summer. Krishna performs so many pastimes in winter. Krishna performs so many pastimes in rainy season, in spring season. But why is so Kartik famous? Kartik is famous not just because Krishna performed so many pastimes, because Krishna performed so many pastimes throughout the year. Kartik is famous because it's a witness of the surrender of the gopis. Because Krishna performed the most special pastime of Rasa dance in the month of Kartik. And Rasa dance is so famous because it exemplifies the surrender of the gopis. 2018, when I had just come here, sometimes Ananta Goswami Prabhu used to stay, and sometimes because of PDC camp, most of the times he will be not there. And practically in this entire 18 acre, I was to be alone. Sometimes Sivaji would be there and not be there, and practically alone. And yesterday, while night I was sleeping, I was just meditating on that. What was that place and what has become now? But even if you drop a pin, you will hear the sound. That was the solitude in this place in 2018. And there were so many snakes, so many living entities. I have seen cobras and cobras or whatever, sea cobras dancing. I've seen pythons. There's no snakes now. And one little water snake, people are so afraid. Oh, snake. Cobra has not come only. I have not seen from 2018 any cobra here. I have seen cobras and cobras dancing and pythons here. And in the night, because I drink a lot of water, I used to get washroom call. And in the night, it will be so difficult to get up with the thought that what if I open the door, snake will be there. And it is true that snake happens. You open the door, snake. You ask Shivaji, you will open the door, there will be snake. You may land up putting your feet on the snake if there is no light. I have been saved twice and thrice landing up my feet on the snake. I'd be talking on the phone and going, and the snake is there. And it's a poisonous snake. So in the night when I would get up, I would have a big stick. And I would make so many sounds, go, run, rush. And just do whatever we do and come back, wash the feet and come back and sleep again. And all the time chanting Hare Krishna in case some snake bites. And when I used to go to Albert Road, people used to say, it's not just about snake. I have heard that there are ghosts also. I have not seen any ghost. But the point I am making this, that time I used to think that some snakes, some little bit of forest-like area, I'm so afraid to go out in the night. Just imagine the ladies, the gopis. And this is Vrindavan, not just right now when there is so much of Pakka Wadi. This is Vrindavan 5,000 years before. 200 years before in Vrindavan there were leopards, which Radhanath Maharaj says about it. 5,000 years before, you can imagine the forest, the condition of the forest of Vrindavan. At that time, the gopis left everything, hearing the flute, not even seeing Krishna. Just heard the flute. And they left, entered the forest to meet Krishna and serve Krishna. That is the surrender of the gopis. So this is what Kartik month stands for. Kartik month does not only stand for that Krishna performs so many pastimes. Kartik month is an emblem of the surrender of the gopis, that we are ready to do anything for Krishna. A lady sees a lizard, jumps. We have seen sometimes in the classes, in yatras, some lizard comes and the ladies are just standing. The ladies, and it's not that they were not aware what is there in the forest. They were completely aware what is Vrindavan forest. There are lions, there are tigers, there are leopards, there are bears. They left everything. And that is the surrender, the mood of the surrender that Kartik exemplifies. And if we pray in this month of Kartik, then Krishna and the gopis and Srimati Radharani, who is the Adhisthata Devi of Kartik, will impart in our heart the mood of fearlessness with conviction and faith. That at every circumstance, I can and I must make Krishna as the whole soul of my life, the goal of my life. Like Rukmini. There was all opportunities that Rukmini should get married to Sisupal. People are filled with envy, circumstances. But Rukmini took up a fearless step to reject everyone. So similarly, as living entities, conditioned souls, we must take a fearless step to reject the conditioned world, the material world, to accept Krishna and spiritual world in our life. That conviction we must pray for and seek for from Mother Rukmini, from all the gopis in this month of Kartik. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Shri Shri Rukmini Mangalam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Srimad Bhagavatam Mahapurana ki, Samaveta Gaura Bhakta Bindu ki, Nitai Gaur Premanande.